Good evening and thanks for joining us. Holly Schultz here and you're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade. In today's show, we'll be looking at the overall ASX 200 performance for the day and also exploring gainers and losers, followed by shares that grabbed limelight, including names like Worley, Woodside Energy, Evolution Mining, Adbury, Washington H. Soul Patterson, and many more. After that, we'll look at some trending updates from the Asian and global markets before closing with a special report on cryptos. Well, to the home market now, and Australian shares closed lower for the second straight session today following overnight losses on Wall Street. The market pared more than half of the early losses after the Reserve Bank kept interest rates unchanged and vowed to continue bonds buying to help boost the economy. The growth-driven tech stocks witnessed sharp selling as booming fears about a rising inflation and potential US debt default prompted investors to shift their focus to safer assets like gold. The Aussie benchmark index ASX 200 closed 0.41% lower as the index opened lower today and nosedived as much as 1% amid a broad-based sell-off. On the sectoral front, 8 of 11 sectors ended in the negative terrain, led by a 3.1% decline in the IT space. For the tech sector, Appen, Afterpay and Zip Co were among the top losers, followed by telecoms, which closed 1% lower. Plus, consumer discretionary and healthcare sectors settled with nearly over 1% in losses, while a rate industrial financial also settled lower. On the flip side, though, the energy sector emerged as the biggest gainer owing to a rise in crude oil prices. Utilities and consumer staples also settled with modest gains. Now to the top gainers and losers of the day, e-retailer Redbubble topped the ASX gainers chart by rising 7.7%, which is followed by gold mining stocks like Gold Road Resources, Silver Lake Resources and St. Barbara, which saw a surge in buying as investors shifted their focus to traditional, safer assets. Meanwhile, travel group C-Link emerged as the worst performer with a 5.9% loss. Some of the top laggards include software business Appen, buy now, pay later majors Afterpay and Zip Co, investment management firm Pinnacle. With that said, let's shift our focus to the stocks that fetched investor attention today. And first on the list is blue chip miner Fortescue Metals Group, which dropped as much as 3% in the intraday trading. The iron ore miner saw a surge in selling after it unveiled a plan to achieve net zero emissions by the year 2040 from operations of its customers, including crude steel manufacturers. The crude steel manufacturing accounts for 98% of the company's Scope 3 emissions. The world's fourth largest miner aims to reduce emissions by working with customers on using technologies that reduce emissions from iron and steel manufacturing. And second on the list is a New Zealand-based electricity generation company, Contact Energy. The share price of the company fell over 3% after it linked 2 new 10-year deals to supply renewable electricity to forestry products manufacturer Pan Pac Forest Products and OG Fiber Solutions. Under the deal, Contact will supply OG and Pan Pac with a part of their electricity requirements until the year 2034. The company has stated that the deal will eventually be good for New Zealand to reduce carbon emissions and to fix electricity prices to become as low as possible. Shares of gas and oil major State Gas rose 1.6% on a collaboration with Rockman Solutions Limited. The company will be investigating the manufacture of low-emission hydrogen and carbon sequestration in the west of its wholly owned ATP 2060 Rollinston West Gas project. Hydrogen will be manufactured from gas and carbon will be securely stored based on a proven process implemented in Iceland and elsewhere in Europe. Now for a short break, but stay tuned because I'll be right back with more trending market updates. Tune in to stay updated while on the move.
We will tell you where the crypto craze has reached,
Where the property market is headed next.
what the world is doing to become more environmentally friendly.
Apart from tracking the daily market charter.
Be on top of the latest news and announcements
With Kalkine TV. Welcome back to Kalkine TV. Holly Shields here with the market close commentary for today. Let's have a look at some more stocks grabbing investor attention. Well, coal mining equipment manufacturer PPK Group has announced its subsidiary White Graphene has signed up for a collaboration agreement with Sun Metals Corp. Sun Metals is the Australian subsidiary of Korea Zinc Company, the world's largest producer of zinc, lead and silver. Sun Metals and WLG have entered into a research and development collaboration agreement to explore the creation of new composite protective coatings using boron nitride nanosheets, which is basically white graphene. Shares of the professional service provider Worley gained as much as 1.9% on Tuesday. The share price surged as the engineering group secured a 2-year contract extension from Woodside Energy to provide engineering and construction management support to its project in WA. This agreement covers brownfield engineering services, procurement and construction services to Woodside Karratha Gas Plant and Pluto LNG project. The original agreement was established in 2018 and this extension is for a further 2 years with the option to extend. Shares of Evolution Mining climbed over 3% after it proposed to divest its stake in the Mount Carlton gold mine in Queensland to Narrabeen Minerals. Shares of Narrabeen entered into a trading halt pending an announcement related to a fundraiser, as the transaction amount comprises $40 million in a mix of equity and cash and up to $50 million in additional cash payable upon the realization of recoverable gold production milestones. Navari's economic interest in Mount Carlton will start from the 1st, while the transaction is expected to close in the December quarter. Meanwhile, shares of Adbury, Australia's leading supplier of construction materials, fell 2.6% following an ASX update. The company has inducted Nick Miller, its chief executive, to the board as managing director and CEO today. Miller, who joined as the CEO of the company in late January 2019, has also been rewarded with a pay hike. He's been granted performance rights worth $1.524 million, equivalent to 1 year's fixed annual remuneration. Shares of Washington H. Soul Pattinson rose 1.25%, pairing early opening losses after its shareholders approved a merger with Milton Corp. Following the merger between the two local investment groups, an application has been filed to remove Milton shares from the ASX, which is expected to take effect from the 6th of October. All Milton shares, notably owned by Soul Pattinson, have now been transferred to the company and the remaining Milton shareholders. The merger of SOL and Milton creates a leading diversified investment house with a significant market cap and access to a range of asset classes, including private equity. Now that we know what's going on back home, let's zoom our lens over to the Asian and global market performance. While shares in the Asia-Pacific region were trading mostly lower today, tracking overnight losses in Wall Street. The market sentiment was dented by fears that higher oil prices may affect global economic recovery. US crude oil futures hit 7-year highs in the overnight trade after the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, including Russia, known as OPEC+, agreed to stick to existing plans for increased output. Japan's Nikkei was the worst performer in the region by falling nearly 2.4%, as the index extended losses for the 7th straight session today, amid persistent concerns over debt-laden property developer China Evergrande Group weighing on the market sentiment. The fading expectations of economic reforms from the newly Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida also dragged the market lower. In a similar trend, South Korea's Kospi fell 1.75%, while the Straits Times Index in Singapore traded 0.8% lower. And Indonesia's Jakarta Composite dropped 0.9%, while Taiwan's weighted index traded marginally lower. Bucking the trend, though, the Hang Seng Index in Hong Kong was up 0.3%, while Thailand's SET Composite gained 4% as well. All this as India's BSE Sensex also traded marginally higher in the opening deals. Meanwhile, Chinese stock markets remained closed for the Golden Week holiday from the 1st of October till the 7th. Now it's time for another short break, but stay tuned because I'll be back with more trading market updates.
Hi there, James Preston for Kalkine TV. Are you into gaming and virtual reality? Does AI and the endless possibilities it entails capture your interest? Or are you constantly trawling through the web to try and discover the latest updates and innovations in the tech space? Well, let us do the work for you. From the latest product launches to shocking affairs on the World Wide Web, exclusive interviews and information about the top companies like Apple and Google to brand new tech startups vying for your attention. Kalkine's Tech Beat has the latest in what matters in the world of technology. Join me every single Thursday on The Tech Beat, exclusive to Kalkine TV.
Hello and welcome back to the Market Close commentary. We're having a look at the global markets right now. And in the overnight trade on Monday, Wall Street ended sharply lower as inflation concerns kept investors away from risky bets. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.9%, while the S&P 500 declined 1.3%. The Nasdaq Composite plunged 2.1% on sharp selling in tech heavyweights like Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google's parent company, Alphabet. With that said, let's have a look now at the buzzing crypto market performance. While the major cryptocurrencies were trading higher during the Asian trading hours on Tuesday, as investor sentiment was boosted by a slew of positive developments as well as supportive statements from regulators. In a major boost to the crypto market, El Salvador, the first country to officially adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, has mined the digital coin using energy from a volcano. Shared updates on the mining project, President Nayib Bukele tweeted that his country had mined Bitcoin, and the country is still testing and installing, but this is the official first Bitcoin mining from the volcanoid, he added. Investors also cheered U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's commitment that the U.S. does not intend to ban cryptocurrencies. Concerns over regulatory crackdown have kept a lid on the crypto prices in recent months. The price of Bitcoin, namely the world's largest crypto by market cap, is currently trading 3% higher. Meanwhile, the most popular digital coin has rallied 16% in the past 7 days, as Ether, the world's second largest crypto, was up 0.5% similarly. It's gained over 14% in the last 1 week. All this as Cardano, the third largest crypto by market cap, was trading 0.6% higher, and Dogecoin prices surged 11% up to 24 US cents. Among others, XRP, Binance Coin, Stellar, Uniswap, Polkadot, and Chainlink, as well as Polygon, saw a surge in buying amid strong response from investors. Well, that is a wrap for today, folks. Hope you found the market closing commentary informative, and we're back tomorrow live from Citi at 9:30 a.m. in the morning with our first report on the pre-market opening conditions. Take care and stay safe.